Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Otakuology Podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike. With me, as always, is Jin. He'll eat a giant stack of waffles. Graves?
Will I?
Maybe, I don't know. And today we're talking about Stranger Things, Season 2, Episode 3, The Pollywog.
So, since you said that, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Okay.
I like waffles because they have like little pockets.
I too am a waffle person, but a lot of people keep telling me that I'm wrong because pancakes are superior.
Well, those people can shut the fuck up.
I was like, yeah, but it soaks up syrup and shit like a sponge.
And
Why
like
do I want that?
you put like your butter on and it goes into little cracks and crevices and stuff.
And I think that the texture just being a little more solid than like fluffy
Yeah, I mean,
is better.
Don't get me wrong. I like pancakes.
Yeah.
I like pancakes. I think they're good. I'll destroy some McDonald's pancakes. Just saying.
I mean, I'll have a pancake too, but it's not like there's a reason why it's called chicken and waffles, not chicken and pancakes.
I know. I feel like we gotta throw
And
we gotta throw French toast into this too, because it's not just pancakes and waffles.
And the other thing that really throws me off is almost every person that says that tries to get in this argument with me on pancakes and waffles is like one simple word, and I feel like they're all on the wrong team for this, because all these people, when you go, do you like the word moist? And they go, no, that's a vile word. I hate it. You're like, then why do you like pancakes? Because that's what those are. They're fucking moist.
So I had some conversations with my coworkers today.
Oh,
Not on the clock, obviously. They were off the clock.
Lunchtime.
We were at lunchtime. And we were talking about, like, so Friday the 13th is coming up. By the time this is released, it'll be not Friday the 13th.
It'll be past that.
And they were talking about, like, getting, like, piercings and stuff. And, like, you know, like, they were like, oh, would you ever get a piercing? And I was like, yeah, probably. If somebody paid me to get a piercing, you know, I probably would, you know. Yeah. And they're like, would you get your belly button pierced? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Like, yeah, I don't know if I like where the story's going.
And so we were talking. They're like, are you sure? Like, I was like, yeah. I mean, I feel like I've never gotten a piercing before. I would, and I, you know, maybe it'd be fun because like we can't have like piercings at work. You know, we can't have like facial piercings, obviously,
like exposed.
Yeah, exposed piercings. I was like, yeah, okay, sure, okay. I would fucking do it. Yeah, somebody paid for it. And so they're like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And so they rounded up half the people in there, half the people in our department, and they pooled like $40 together.
Oh my God.
Because that's like the standard price for a piercing. And I was like, okay. And I took the money and I was like, I'm going to go get this done. Like, luckily enough, one of my coworkers was going to the same tattoo parlor because one of the piercers there was like, I'm bored. Like, come in and get like a deep discounted piercings or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they happened to go at the same time. I was like, okay, like I get off at 5, you're going at 5:30. Maybe we'll meet up and stuff. And so like I go there. And they're like, what? I can't believe.
Were y'all both getting belly button piercings?
No. She was going to do like a part of her ear or something like that. I forget what it was called. I think it was like a conch or a conch. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And she was like, I can't believe you actually showed up. And I was like, why wouldn't I show up? Like, I'm kind of a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And so like I go in and she you know goes in and like starts filling stuff out. They're like, oh, why are you here? And I was like, I want to get my belly button pierced. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I want to get my belly button pierced. And then so like she starts explaining everything to the person, and they start cracking up basically
Oh
about
my
this.
god.
And I was like, yeah, I'm getting my belly button pierced. I was like, okay. They're like, we need to do an anatomy exam, and I was like, what? You need to do what? And they're like, oh, anatomy exam. I was like, oh, okay. They're like, do you need to go to the back room and like so we can look at your belly button? And I was like, no, here's my belly button. Like I just whipped it out.
No, I just whipped it out. There wasn't any
And,
problems.
and so like I'm in there. I'm sitting and I'm there. And they're like, oh, so like I have my shirt up obviously, and they're like kind of raised up where like behind the counter. And they're like, and they have like this like dummy belly button with like a ring or whatever in it.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we are looking for like this specific type of belly button. You don't have that kind of belly button. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's a belly button. Like, they're all the same, right? You know, you have innies or outies or whatever. I don't know. And
Yeah.
they're like, you don't have like the little lip for like the belly button for like the ring to like attach or whatever it is. And like, you need a floating navel piercing. And I was like, what the fuck's a floating navel piercing?
Yeah,
It
because I've
apparent
never heard of that.
it's like apparently like a bigger piercing that like has
Okay.
like a bar and stuff in it. So like my belly button's like I don't know if it's fucked up or what, but like it's completely round. Like there's no like
The the vision that I get out of this is it's like one of the holes in a bowling ball.
kind of yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like yeah.
Like that's what this is making me think of, like the thumb hole. And I'm just like, man, what?
And so I was like, oh, okay. They're like, go check out this other shop in town, but they only have like availabilities like Wednesday through I think it was Sunday or something like that. I was like, okay,
everybody's
well,
going
obviously, you know,
everybody's going to get them floating belly button piercings. That's what it
they
is.
it's Wednesday, but like I think they were all booked up this Wednesday or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I messaged him on Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, I'm interested in doing this, and they told me I need like a blah 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 blah. And they're like, okay, and I was like how much is like pricing? You know, because this is like an actual like body
Yeah.
art place. I don't know if they do tattoos. I think they might just do solely piercings
Yeah, yeah.
and like you know stuff like that. And so they're like, oh, like our standard is like I think like $40, but for you it would need to be like I think it was like $50 to like $80.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I was
Jesus.
like, they're gonna need to shell out some more money if they want this
Yeah, they
done.
are. We'll go in
I
there and be
made
like,
sure I made sure to be like, hey, y'all should include a tip as well.
hey guys, it's gonna be like $100. You guys got enough for that? Well, did your coworker get their piercing too?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I was
I
like,
did. I
I
didn't
was like,
say. I
if
didn't.
somebody's going everywhere with you to get this done,
I didn't stay with them while they got that done. Like I left. I was like, okay, thank you for the info. You know,
yeah, yeah,
I'll go check it out and look into it because it wasn't like it was only like maybe like a couple miles away from where I was
yeah, yeah.
and stuff. So like yeah, there and like my coworkers like yeah, we just need like a proof of life type of situation. Like we want you to film yourself getting this piercing.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're gonna react tomorrow because they all thought for some reason I was gonna get a piercing today, and I guess they thought it was as easy as getting an ear pierced.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's my story for today.
How
So
many how many of them you think they're going to be like, ah, you chickened out?
I don't know because I mean I didn't check it out because I made an appointment.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I actually made an appointment with the place
yeah, yeah.
in town, so I didn't necessarily chicken out.
Man,
I
I
just
cannot believe that.
I just couldn't do it. And you know, like I was thinking about it, and I was like, maybe I could just pull off like a belly button ring, you know, and be like a fucking troll doll, you know.
Yeah, like one of
So,
those. Like, well, And like, if somebody could kind of stage the shit, I mean, you could almost put in like a fake one and be like, "Yeah, here it is." Like,
No, I
who
feel
would
like I
know?
would. I feel like I would commit to that. I feel like I would commit to actually getting a, a piercing, and I feel like I have
I
committed
gotta,
to it in my
I gotta
head.
hear about this. I gotta hear about it whenever you're like, "Yeah, I tried rolling on my side when I was asleep, and that bitch hurt."
Joke's on you. I sleep on my back, so
That's okay. You might still move.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, that's the end of my story.
Oh my
Uh,
god,
the talking Mike is
I
off of
I
his
can't believe
soapbox.
that.
So,
I can't
but,
believe
but
that.
yeah, we got a good episode for you guys this Wednesday as of recording.
Well, because of you getting this and having to do the thing, and what this episode is called, you're gonna have to get a belly button piercing that looks like it's got a pollywog on it.
Oh, the little spiral thing.
Yeah, something like that.
I think I want to like Steven Universe it and get like a big pink jewel.
Oh my god. Sure, why not?
I'm already committed to the bit. Like I'm just gonna do it.
That came out of nowhere. That hit me pretty hard. I'm getting myself one of those big purple gems, or one of those big pink gems, okay? I'm gonna be Steven. Jesus. All right, let's get to this episode.
We start out where we left off in the last episode.
Yeah, we are getting more congruent with where it's happening, picking up at the end of each episode. That we get what's happening at the end of the episode of the last episode with the beginning of the next one, which I think makes it a little easier on some of these. Not all the way, I will tell you that still, but it does make it a little easier most of the time.
This one kind of
Um,
ran together like the last one for me.
yeah, but this one is where Dustin gets back from trick or treating and everything. He goes to his trash can, which I believe it was kind of early on in season or in episode 2, where the trash can rattled too. But this time it rattles, and Dustin goes, "I'm going to go check it out." He finds something, puts it into his ghost vacuum, and sneaks
It's a trap.
inside.
It's a trap, sir. It's
Yeah,
a
the
ghost
trap.
trap.
Sneaks in, tries to sneak past his mom, which I laughed because Dustin's mom, they have their cat, their pet cat,
She's
but
wearing cat
Dustin's mom
ears.
is also dressed up as a cat.
Wasn't the cat's name Muse?
Muse, yes.
Muse.
Yes.
They call him Musey or whatever.
Yeah, which the crazy thing is after the one part here where I knew it was a turtle tank, I forgot that he had let the turtle out. And then
Yeah,
I feel like we never see the turtle again.
I feel so bad for the turtle.
Yertle
Like
the turtle.
he just like gets left out in the room and stuff,
Yeah.
and like I know the cat gets eaten.
I
Like
know, right?
I don't remember if the turtle gets eaten.
I don't remember either. But I was like, where's this turtle at? Because after he takes it out, I don't feel like we ever see the turtle again.
Maybe it's a plot hole.
Maybe it's gonna be what happens in Stranger Things season 5, episode 9. Maybe that's when we'll figure it
Oh,
out.
you mean the conformity
Conspiracy.
gate?
Yeah, conformity gate, yeah.
But
Then we'll
we are getting the first shadow.
we are getting the first shadow. I'm super psyched about that.
I know, right?
But anyway, we have where Dustin has this thing. We're not exactly sure what it is yet, but he opens the Ghostbuster thing, the trap, and he hits the button, and it opens up, and we see this little weird thing that looks kind of like a tadpole. Um, but at the same time, if you've seen up to this point, you know that it also looks like one of the things that Will spit out at the end of season one.
Because it was the thing that Will spit out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Which it looks a little different from then till now. I guess it had like a year to develop.
yeah, well, and we also don't know. Like, did Will spit out more of them?
I think it's just that one. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, either that or maybe like there were other little places that got opened up by the Demogorgon and they kind of slipped through those pockets. Maybe. Um, I'm not sure,
Yeah, I mean,
but
I feel like they're kind of vague. I mean, because I remember there's more demo dogs in
yeah,
this season, so I honestly don't remember because
yeah, yeah.
season 2 and 3 kind of start to blur together.
You're like the whole thing blurs together for me, boys. The whole thing. Um, but one of the books that Dustin is reading, well, not is he reading the book too, or is it just off the candy bar?
He's reading the candy bar.
Okay, okay. I couldn't remember if the book he fell asleep to on his bed was also
I don't know what book he was reading when he was sleeping,
okay.
but I know he was looking at the candy bar because he was gonna give D'Artagnan like some candy because he was hungry.
Yeah, yeah. Give
So
him some nougat and some
he likes
chocolate
some
from
nougat,
his
and that's how they bond is over nougat.
Three Musketeers
Like
bar.
Dustin falls so hard for this like I don't want to call it like a pet, but like a thing,
Yeah,
and in some ways like it kind of likes Dustin too,
yeah, yeah.
which is weird.
It is. I think he just kind of got that early bonding in on it, maybe. Um, but the weird thing is that it kind of happens in the middle of all this stuff that's going on with him trying to impress Max as well.
Yeah.
And it almost is like Dart is what cock blocks him, so to speak,
Oh yeah.
because of just all the stuff that happens in this episode. Um, well, we have that. We learn a couple things, which I never thought about this before, so we'll ram back to that.
All right.
But we have where like this little thing Dart actually like goes under the log that's in there to try and get out of the sun lamp
Yeah.
or the heat lamp, and then he actually has to turn it off so it'll come out and eat the nougat and everything. Um, Now, I never thought about it until now that the Demodogs and the Demogorgons don't really come out during the daytime.
Oh, true. True.
I had never thought about that before.
Do you think that's why they don't come out in the finale?
Oh, in the main
Yeah.
ending? That would be a smart play on that. Like, yeah, they didn't come out because it was daytime, but no, they didn't. They didn't think about it that far. Because I know they had a scene written for the finale of the thing that the kids were going to run into like a big patch of like egg things, which is where like the egg that we saw that
Yeah.
Will had beside him in season one, and Barb. So we never got that, but we had where some of that other stuff happens. We got where it's the starting transition phase for Dart in this because like it looks like there may be some little legs getting ready to come through at one point.
Yeah.
Um, and then we just kind of jumped from there. That was like our opening scene for what was going to happen in Stranger Things to get us hooked.
And we jump to that to, I guess, more in the past from this because we jump to Hopper finding 11
Yes,
out
yes,
in the wilderness of Hawkins, Indiana.
yeah. Because don't we get like a split scene where it's
Yeah.
him talking about like him bringing the candy home and everything?
I don't know if he was bringing candy home, but like,
Well, he brought it home at the end of the last
yeah,
session
we
or
get like
the
back and
last
forth.
episode.
We getting back and forth like past and like present to where like Eleven's mad at him, and then like them fixing up Hopper's. I think it was his dad's house or his granddad's house. I can't
His
remember.
granddad's, yeah, he used it for
Yeah,
storage.
they're fixing it up, and he's like showing her how this is what a tripwire is, and like we're gonna make this our home and stuff. Like he's like preparing her for like things to come. Like
Yeah,
it, it's interesting, like the juxtaposition, like 11 then and like 11 now, because like she basically calls him out on his fucking bullshit. I mean,
yeah, she does.
yes, I feel like Hopper is right in the fact that he needs to protect 11 from the bad people. But like, as we learn, is like Hopper is actually working with them.
Yeah, yeah,
Like he is basically covered everything up from season one, and like nothing. He said nothing is supposed to enter the town, and then
yeah,
things start to enter the town.
yeah. That's true. Well, and going off of something that you said earlier, I feel like this is kind of like in Steven Universe with the crystal gems, where they try and keep him in the town and just say, hey, like this is all the stuff. But when they go to fight stuff or whatever, he knows nothing about that. And he keeps trying to go on these missions in like season one of that. And he's like, hey, I want to go. I want to learn this stuff. I want to be able to do everything. And they don't let him. Well, I kind of feel like Hopper's doing the same thing to 11 in this. Like she wants to get out. She wants to see her friends. I mean, it's been, almost a whole year. None
Yeah, I
of
think it
them
was
know
like
that she's even alive.
325 days or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But like none of them know. Like Mike doesn't know. I mean, nobody knows that she's even alive.
nobody's gonna
And
know.
yeah. And I mean, we just have this crazy stuff that's going on where it's like, hey, I want to go out. I have seen these walls for whatever number you said, 360 days or whatever. Like I have seen these walls that many times. Like, why am I still in the shack? You know? And of course, like calling him on his shit that, how she remembered the numbers where it was like, you said that day two, you said it day 26, you said it day 300, that it's almost over. Well, you keep saying that and it's not getting over. So,
Like I also get her point of view as well because she is a
yeah,
teenager.
yeah,
Like she because I think it is clarified in this episode, like they're in middle school.
yeah, yeah,
I think it was, yeah, because I think we had like a little thing about that, like were they what age they were or whatever, and like I can see both sides of 11 and Hopper, but like I have to go with Hopper nowadays.
yeah,
I don't think 11 makes really good choices in this episode.
yeah, yeah. Well, and I think it's funny, too. A question that we actually had in episode one of this was where the hole was.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many places in this school, I'm not sure. But at one point, I wanted to say, hey, do you think that that bulletin board thingy was hung up over the hole?
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, there's too many places to actually like pinpoint and say it was this spot, but yeah, it made me think about that
I think weren't
too
they
since we
like
were talking about
closer
the
to the
school.
gym?
I don't know because a couple of the places look like it's closer to the gym.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know because there's one part where they turn down a hallway when they're actually at the school. All the kids are looking for Dart when they
Mm-hmm.
Dustin brings them there, and they all look like as they're turning in different directions. It looks like it's almost all the same directions.
Maybe they were just using the same hallways.
Maybe, but I have no idea. Because then
Yeah.
it almost makes me think that if they did that, they'd have to change what was on there. So they'd have to take certain things down. They'd have to put other things up. So I don't know.
I mean,
Um,
that is normally what they do when they film stuff.
yeah, yeah. But I mean to make it look a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like one of the other parts that we'll get to here in a little while. Um, like I knew how they filmed that. It was Will running down the hallway, and they'd let him get down there, and then they'd restart him like farther back again, and then he'd run down the hallway again. So it looked like it's kind of like a hallway that was like 3 times the size. But um, getting back onto our Dustin boy though, so he goes to the library and he rents out some books, which we get to see the librarian again.
Yeah, we do.
Uh, he's trying to figure that out. Uh,
He ends
as
up over checking out books,
yeah, he checks out like double. I think you can check out 5, and he's checking out 10.
and he steals
Um,
the library books.
basically, yeah. I mean, she lets him do it basically, but
But he literally steals the library books.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that a felony?
I
I
think
don't
it
know,
could be. I think it could be. I'm not
or a
sure.
misdemeanor. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. But he goes and he steals the books. And then we kind of jump over to where we're talking basically to Jonathan and Joyce and all them. They have stuff to do. And Bob says, "You know what? I will take Will to school. Don't worry about it. I got it this time. We can do this." And he gets some one-on-one time with Will, which I think is very nice and well
Yeah,
deserved.
I think so too. I really like the scene between Will and Bob.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I thought it was a really good thing, and like he Will really needs that like reassurance and like reassurance of like a nice, I would say, strong male role model.
yeah, yeah,
And like it's interesting because like he's like, yeah, come with me, Will, and like Will goes with him, but like Jonathan's like still skeptical
yeah. He
about
is.
about like their relationship because he's like, why did he sleep over, like why did he stay over?
Yeah, yeah.
And she was like, it's okay,
Um,
it's fine.
which I like it because Bob's pretty good at reading them too.
Yeah,
Which he's later on, this kind of breaks my heart a little bit, but this part I think is very encouraging, where Bob's trying to tell Will about him going to a circus or a carnival in town where
yeah,
somebody was dressed up as a clown and they were named Mr. Baldo. And so we find out that Bob was scared of clowns essentially for a really long time until he finally, in a dream, told this thing to go away.
yeah.
And that comes back up to play a role in it for Will later on when something happens. Um, now, I think this is one of the next parts, though, that's very strong in why Dustin and Max weren't going to work out, which is where Lucas and Max are already at school
Mm-hmm.
and they're hanging out and they're talking to each other. And Max really wants to get the lowdown on what's all this stuff with Will
Oh
going
yeah.
on.
uh, I love this scene because it was funny.
Yeah, why do they call him Zombie Boy?
Why they call him Zombie Boy? Because he's not technically dead. He was lost in the woods,
Yeah,
according to them.
yeah.
But
Well,
they had to have a funeral.
yeah. Well, and the other crazy thing is, so they had the funeral, and then we also get a little thing that, like, if you didn't really listen the first time, or if you didn't listen the first time watching this, you probably didn't catch it this time either because, like said before, I've watched this multiple times. I never really caught this thing because we've seen it in season 1. Like Hopper and Joyce both knew it wasn't Will. It was a fake body, you
Yeah,
know. But all the kids and everybody still think that that body was just some other kid that died by falling in the thing.
do
Um,
the boys actually know that?
no, but Lucas brings it up this episode, or
Oh
Lucas
yeah,
brings it
because he's
up
like, oh,
talking to
it was
Max.
another boy. It was another
Yeah,
kid.
it
Yeah,
was another kid that had fallen in. So somewhere, a lot of people still don't know that there was a fake Will and thought it was another kid that had died. Which
yeah.
why nobody had like done research on it or anything. I have no fucking clue. Because you would have thought somebody would have been like, "Was there another kid that disappeared from our
I mean,
town?"
that is a very good plan
That's true.
to kind of hide in plain sight.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if that was just something that the Duffers may have missed or not, but it made me laugh about that. Um, but we go into Mr. Scott's class, which I love this part because this is actually an old story that I like because there's multiple stories about things like this. But we have where they talk about Phineas Gage and how he basically had a rod that shot through his head and he was still alive, but what it did, it nicked part of like his frontal lobe. And
Yeah.
so over time, he ended up changing real bad. I think if I remember this right, because the Stranger Things doesn't actually fill us in it. Um, it was almost like night and day. He was like a Dr. Jekyll and then basically turned into a Mr. Hyde. He was very gruff, all this other stuff. There was a lot of crazy stuff that happened with it. Um, and he acted like a completely different person and was just really bitter and everything because of that.
I don't
Uh,
remember this from my history books.
this isn't in history books, really. This is just like strange history, though, that I
Okay.
remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I love the
but
scene where Dustin like bursts into the room
yeah, yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, sorry, sorry. Keep going." And like he's
Well,
trying to tell them like,
and I love Mister Clark going Phineas Gage, and then he just keeps repeating what he says, Phineas Gage.
yeah.
Uh, get your textbook out, textbook.
He's like, "Yes, my lord."
Yeah. So I mean, that's all really funny, and it's this is kind of, I think, too, the part where we see where Dustin is kind of also losing Max because he keeps turning around. AV room, meet us at the AV room. All this other
Yeah.
stuff. He's trying to get where she's included, but it's just really awkward. I think
Yeah, it
in
is
pulling
very
that.
awkward. I feel like Max has a very like bumpy start with the guys.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think Lucas, it's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
I think Dustin is still that way, and then we will find out, which we can jump ahead a little bit.
Okay.
When they're at the school by themselves and they're looking for everything, Mike and Max have this part where they're talking about it, and Mike basically tries to say, like, I don't know you that well. I'm still judgmental on you. You're not a member of our party that we need.
Yeah.
Um, and basically he lets it slip about Elle, and Max is like, well, who's Elle? Now Max is trying to figure out who this other person is because they're not at school. Um, and it's just, there's a lot there that we find out that Micah is trying to be the leader, can't really see past anybody to have any more than his four friends that he has right now,
Yeah.
and is trying to find Elle.
He doesn't like change, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Which is funny because of this, and then what we see at the end. Which, I mean, I think we're supposed to get something in Tales of 83
Maybe.
of this where they plan a campaign, but then, like, we really have seen it already because obviously we can't say it because we haven't seen the show yet. But in season 5 for the ending, we do know that she's a part of the party. So it's
Yeah.
really funny to know how that gets to the point of, hey, she did get included. She is this, and she is a member of the party, not by just being a kid in the group, but by actually joining a game and being in the
I
D&D group.
I can't remember if she becomes a member of the party at the end of this season or next season.
She is a member of the group this season.
Okay.
She doesn't become a member of the actual party and that we know of until season 5. But I know Tales of 83 is supposed to touch on a part through the trailer where she does kind of get included in a game that they have with that.
Yeah.
So that'll be something that will kind of make a connection, which I think will kind of rewrite a little bit of the history when they're trying to ask people in season 4 of who we need an extra person for the game that Erica joins.
Oh yeah.
I think that will kind of rewrite history for that a little bit, but who exactly knows?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but we have where Dustin gets everybody in the AV room. He pulls out the trap. He opens it up. Everybody sees this creature.
It feels
Um,
like a huge booger.
yeah, yeah. Well, and I love how he decides how they're going to keep it in is just like a part of the cord, like wrapped in a circle.
Yeah, like he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like,
You don't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
yeah. And we get a little shift because obviously, like, it does look like he's starting to grow stuff again, but we still haven't gotten it yet. Um,
This part was gross when he like sprouts legs.
oh yeah, I mean, we can jump to that part. They have another part where they come back to the AV room again, and then uh, Dart ends up sprouting legs, and this is like after the fact where Will starts sitting there really thinking about it, and
Because he
he's like,
he tells them, I think I know this. I think I've seen it.
yeah, he tells Mike. He goes, Mike, I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I'm pretty sure it came from me.
Well, I think he said it came from the upside down.
Ye, yeah, but I think he says something about like only to Mike. I don't think he says it to the other boys,
Maybe.
but like he spit it out or something. Um, but we have where uh the guys go and they mark all the trees,
Mm-hmm.
um,
We
and
find out
stuff.
that they like ran out of flags, I think it was.
Yeah, well, they got tired. It got dark,
Yeah.
and they didn't bring any flashlights.
They're like, it's called the flashlight, you dumbass.
Yeah, but we did have enough that they made it was able to make a circle.
Yeah.
Which, looking at the map, I had a question last time, and it got answered this time. So the lab is where all the things were, all the little stuff was kind of radiating out from.
Yeah.
The library is actually farther towards like the northeast.
Oh.
So this wouldn't have been where the Vecna lines would have been. This could have been where one of them started at, but not all of them.
You're talking about the tunnels?
The tunnels, yeah. So the tunnels,
Okay.
and then where Vecna made the sacrifices, and then they all ran to the
Mm,
library. So
okay.
these would have been two different kind of areas almost.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, one of them could have went through here, but I don't know. Um, but yeah, um, but yeah, I mean, we have where the police officers went out and they didn't bring flashlights or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And then we kind of jump back to the school, which a lot of stuff happens at the school, sad to say.
Yeah.
Um,
Nancy, and
yeah.
Steve.
So we have the part where we're at the gym where Billy and Steve are kind of like going after each other playing
Shirts and
shirts and
skins.
shirts and skins basketball.
Billy looks
Nancy
a little too old to be a part of high school.
doesn't a lot of them look that way.
Yeah.
Um, Nancy comes in and it like is really like angry with Steve, gets him to kind of go out to like where the fields kind of are at, and
She
brings
missed
up
first period, right?
yeah, because she had to like get another ride or had to walk there or something. And she was like, you left me, all this other stuff. And Steve basically like brings up everything that happened from the last episode. He's like,
Yeah.
like, do you remember? And he gets her to tell her he gets her to tell him what she remembers. And it's basically almost verbatim everything until she gets sick and then she's like, you took me home. And he's like, no, your other boyfriend Jonathan is the one that took you home. Because obviously Steve's a little salty about what was said, and of course, like how Nancy acted, by basically saying like because of all the stuff with Barb, that Steve was just, was bullshit. The relationship was bullshit. Them being together was bullshit. Um, just like everything about them was bullshit and all this other stuff. And so somebody comes to get Steve, and Steve asks Nancy real quick, like, "Hey, well, if that's true, like, if all this stuff is just bullshit, if what you're telling me, if it was just bullshit, then tell me, like, do you love me?" And Nancy couldn't say it,
Yeah,
so Steve just kind of, let her know silently, like, "Hey, we're broken up,"
I feel like Steve's actions and the way he acts in this are warranted
Yeah,
with like how Nancy treated him in the last episode. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I
No,
mean,
and I think that is something that, yes, and I think that that's something that should have been communicated a little more, because Steve did say, like, "Hey, I kind of wanted part of the stuff," and I know, like, Nancy is still having the stuff carried with her with Barb, and
yeah,
Steve's trying to do the best he can with that, but Steve can't, because he wasn't as close to Barb as Nancy was.
yeah, yeah,
He didn't have to go through the same stuff like Jonathan had to go through with Will. So, like, he's still there, but Nancy's not really giving him a choice in the matter.
yeah. Which is unfair for Steve. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Um,
she ends up going to Jonathan.
Goes to Jonathan.
Yeah,
Jonathan covers up for Steve. He's like, "Hey, no, he told me to drive you home." All that, which I think is pretty funny in the sense of what competition that Jonathan and Steve have had with each other through the entire
yeah, and
series.
it just seems so weird
Yeah.
and out
Well,
of
and
place, to be honest.
I could see Jonathan doing it, but
Yeah,
to for that to never be a thing where Steve never knew about it, like, you can kind of see where Jonathan and Steve's relationship keep breaking, because one, at the end of season 1, where Steve asked Nancy, "Hey, did Jonathan get the camera?" He didn't know it came from Steve.
yeah,
Jonathan, covering up for Steve, "Hey, Steve asked me to take you home." Steve never knew that Jonathan had said that. So there's
yeah,
this whole, like, loop that both of them started, like, nitpicking at each other, because neither one of them knew that the other one was covering up for the other one.
yeah.
Like, it's this big, like, weird kerfluffle of a thing that you're
And
just
then
like,
at the end,
"What are you
neither of
doing?"
them get the girl.
Right, right, which makes me laugh. Um, but we have two small things that happen about this area, which is, um, Joyce looks at the tape from Halloween.
Yes, yes. I love the scene where she tries to put it in the VHS player.
Oh yeah, and it's like too small, and she's
It's too
like,
small,
"It
and
won't
she's
fit."
like, "You couldn't fit. What's going on?" So she calls Bob up at Radio Shack, and she's like, "Bob, I'm trying to put your little tape thingy into the thing, but it's too small." Like, "Oh, well, put in the camera and hook up the blah 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 cords." And she's like, "What?" Like,
Yeah. Oh man, the answer he gives is too smart. Like, it's a
yeah.
big brain answer. And you're just like, what?
I mean, it's just the video cables. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. But he's giving them, like, all the exact names of them and
Yeah,
things like that, and, like,
but I
you know,
love this scene because I thought it was really funny. Like,
yeah,
because I mean, everybody's questioning like why she is with him at this point, you know,
yeah,
and it's because he's a
um,
nice guy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there was a part at the beginning.
Oh, where she like he starts talking about like he was looking at the camera and stuff.
Well, yeah, there was that part. But
He
I
was
mean,
looking at
where he's talking about, and who would have ever thought I would have gotten that
yeah,
I
yeah,
Bob Newby got to date Joyce Byers.
yeah, because Joyce was kind of like the it girl. It seemed like
Yeah, at one point,
or
yeah,
or somewhat of the it girl, like, and like he starts talking about how like what high school was like for him or in school was like for him, like he was like a nobody, like he got beat up and bullied and he didn't stick up for himself, but like Joyce sticks up for herself, and that's what he likes about her and stuff. And he starts like to relate to Will and what Will's going through because he got bullied in the last episode, and like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
kind of comes full circle for Bob. Like he is that good guy, and he doesn't deserve what he gets, but he
He deserves.
deserves
Doesn't deserve what he gets.
he deserves like this moment of happiness, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I think too at this is a thing that echoes, I think, from season 4 before we actually got to it was, where we have where Eddie says the whole lines of, I ran away, I ran away, I ran away. And then at the end, he's like, I didn't run away.
Yeah.
And Bob's kind of giving me that vibe at this point where he's like, with Mr. Bold, I ran away. And then I said, leave me alone, basically, and all this. And he's given you that backstory for him with Joyce of like you said, where he was getting beat up. He was
Yeah.
that kind of that nerdy guy that nobody he got picked on, all this. And he's telling you like that's kind of how he's based part of the things on his life. Like he knew when to run away and he knew when he could kind of like get around it.
Yeah.
But never did he just basically stay and fight, which is what happens closer to the end of this. I feel like it wasn't really him staying and fighting, but it was him standing up and taking the more dangerous road.
Yeah.
But we also get where Hopper goes in. He brings up the whole thing to Dr. Owens, like, hey, buddy, we have all these
Yeah.
vegetables that are dying and things. And you told me you were going to keep this all under control. And I don't
You're
know what's
not.
going on, but you ain't.
Yeah. He's like, I can't deal with this right now. Yeah. He's like, the fuck you are gonna deal with it. Like we had a fucking deal.
Yeah.
We had a deal. Like you would keep the stuff out and you could do whatever the fuck you want outside of town. Which I
Yeah.
feel fair deal. Just saying. Fair deal.
Yeah. 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 But at some point we go back to the school with this where Jonathan and Nancy are starting to think about, well, what can we do differently to do whatever it is.
I love
Um,
that they're drinking some tab and eating a whole can of Pringles.
yeah, yeah,
Like that was Jonathan's lunch.
yeah. Well, I love part of the product placement and part of the stuff, and like I wish uh we still had like some memorabilia stuff you could get for that.
Oh yeah,
'Cause-
I mean they had Dr. Pepper in this season.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, they had Dr. Pepper. We've gotten some other stuff. Three Musketeers that look that way.
yeah,
I mean, like we got a lot of that stuff. That's pretty crazy. Um, but uh, we jump back over to 11, where we know that she's been walking through the woods after her and Hopper's fight. Which it's funny to me that Hopper just kind of like let her go off.
he didn't let her go off. She left the house.
Yeah, didn't she kind of throw something at him though?
No, like she like went into her room, but like when he left to like go do, I guess go to work, like she opened the door and walked out.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Because
Yeah,
that's when he goes giving her the rules of what not to do, and
yeah, like
it's
she broke all the rules.
yeah, yeah. Um, but she's walking through the forest. She walks up to kind of behind this property with a little girl and her mom. Um, kind of like on the swing at the house. She walks up and says, "Oh, what's up with you? Are your parents anyway?" Because she's trying to find the school, and she basically like Jedi mind tricks or whatever the swing to start swinging by itself, and then she just disappears so that the people don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Which this is a part I had to message you about earlier. It gets
Oh,
brought
the
up.
Russian girl.
Yeah, it gets brought up because the police get called to come out there, and they bring up. Remember when Murray brought up about the Russian girl,
Yeah.
and they're like, she must still be out in the woods.
When you
So
texted me that, I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because you had said it last time. I was like, no, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he just said the Russians in general. But yeah, we have that. And then we have where all the kids at the school are kind of staying after the. They tried to find Dart after he got out of the AV room the second time when they didn't let Max in there, and they're
Yeah,
talking about like where Dart had come from.
it's an all boys club.
Yeah, yeah, and they're trying to find it because Max now knows how to lockpick. Um,
Unfortunately, Dart gets away.
Dart gets away, so the boys stay after trying to look for her. And this is that part where we were talking about that Max and Mike have their little thing where they're talking about it, and
Yes.
Max is like, "Oh, I can be the Zoomer, like that, whatever that thing is."
Yeah, I liked her interaction with Mike, like just trying
Yeah,
to like get through his
she puts
thick skin.
she puts the skateboard down. She starts doing it, and 11 through one of the walks up to one of the doors and can kind of see through it, and actually makes Max trip up.
I hate this jealousy angle.
Yeah, which I want to know, especially like in season 3, did 11 ever tell Max that she was the one that did that?
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
hate this like angle you have to like they what was I going? I forgot what I was gonna say. My mind went blank.
jealous angle.
Oh, the jealous angle. Yeah, the jealous angle. Like I don't like it at all. And she does it like several times throughout this series.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just don't like it. I mean, I get it, she's a kid or whatever, but like it's not a good look. And I don't think it like helps the character at all.
No, and I think they kind of had to play it up this season just because that's what they were going for. And it would have made it really impossible for her to not have something like that happen and her to go find 8.
Yeah.
Like something had to happen big enough for her to go, "Oh, I got to go somewhere else and I'm going to find uh 8."
But they Will does find D'Artagnan,
Will
and
does.
things do not go well for Will and D'Artagnan.
Nope.
Nope,
Nope.
not at all, not at all. Because Will runs like a little bitch. He's like, I'm not dealing with this little thing. I don't get paid enough.
Yeah. And then he runs through the halls, which this is that scene I was telling you about where I think they started him almost at one end of the hallway and then it was him running down to the other
Yeah.
almost. And then they cut it where it was him back again and running again. And then they just kind of put that almost on a loop where it was like we got it until they wanted it to be to the end of the hallway, which is almost like he ran through 3 schools,
Yeah.
um, as the shadow was trying to get him or the cloud.
Yeah.
Um, which at this point right here, I would like to say that Joyce did finally figure out how to get everything playing, paused it at
Yes.
some kind of weird, nice angle, and then got out a thing of like butcher paper
And
and
she
a
drew on it.
Sharpie and drew on it and noticed that the shape lined up with the shape that Will had drawn from last episode.
Yeah. And we see
Um,
kind of the fallout from the kids trying to get Dart
yeah,
after Dustin puts Dart over his head on his hat or in his hat, I guess you'd say.
yeah, yeah,
And like they have this big falling out at this point because like they just want to kill him, and Dustin's very conflicted. I feel like and he just doesn't want to.
yeah.
Like he doesn't want to kill him.
Dustin's like, I'm a big sweetheart. We can't do that.
Yeah, which leads the team to kind of get fractured a little bit at this point. Um, yeah, and we get this interesting scene towards the end where Will does like run outside,
Yeah, yeah.
which I love
I
this
mean, he
scene.
runs a chunk. I mean, he runs a chunk
Yeah,
away from the school.
I love this scene where he's like running and saying Will's like screaming like stay away from me, like he's taking Bob's advice.
Yeah, yeah.
Luckily or sadly he gets shadow tentacle dick in his mouth.
Well, in all his orifices. I
All of
mean,
his orifices, yeah.
mouth, nose, ears. I think it almost seems like it's going into his eyes at one point.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how the episode ends, right?
Yeah, this is how the episode ends.
Okay, yeah, that's what I remember. I was trying to remember like how it actually ends because I couldn't remember.
Yeah, yeah. This is how it ends, and that's one of the things that I was trying to say earlier without us exactly spoiling the end is that Bob said you do this whole thing to basically like tell the things that scare you to get away and whatnot, and it didn't really work this time. Like the
Nope.
bad things still beat out,
Yeah,
even though
bad things still won.
Even though Will said get away from me and all that, like it still got him.
Yeah.
So we have all this extra stuff that is still happening, and what else
You do with it,
do you do on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think the next episode is going to be one of the better ones, because in season 2 I feel like every episode kind of gets better as we go.
Yeah.
um but you know the one
Ca-
question I have out of this episode really
Uh-huh.
are, if he had such a connection to the upside down and was able to like vomit out a demodog essentially,
Yeah.
that could possibly turn into a demogorgon later on in its gestation period, then why did the mind flayer, or whatever it is in this kind of like smoky gaseous form, then
I
why
don't
did
know.
it actually have to get into Will to do anything?
To use him as a spy, obviously.
Well, couldn't it have already done that?
I guess, yeah.
No, the only argument I could have that against myself is I feel like it could have used Will as a vehicle, that when Will comes back out of the upside down, that the thing is still in him.
Yeah.
That is my only kind of argument with that. I can't really say anything else on it.
I mean, I don't really have anything negative to say about this. I still enjoyed it for the
Yeah,
most part.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
No,
I like the bigger introduction to our new character and how she
with
fits.
Max.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with Max and how she fits into the role coming in. Like I really like that. Like I say this every time, but the kids stuff is like peak television for
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Whenever they're interacting and stuff, it's like peak television for me. I mean, I know they're not kids anymore, but like, I mean, I enjoyed this one just like the last one. I don't
yeah.
see like any like anything
Well,
like I didn't really like.
I still think though it's stuff that you and I can have fun with, like what we grew up with and everything else like that. Like in this one, like right at the very beginning, is when we go to see, after Dustin's fallen asleep and Dart's in the terrarium or whatever.
Yeah,
You know, over on one side there's a He-Man action figure.
yeah, that was Man at Arms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, like we have different things where it is like that, where you can do that. And I also think a lot of things are more fun um in shows that actually have that kind of like view from a child,
mm-hmm.
because you do kind of have that, oh, it's new, it's not this. You don't have this whole thing with a parent that's like, well, what, I have to be brave, I have to do that. So I think in a way it also lets you turn your parent brain off and kind of turn that childish wonder that you used to have
Yeah,
back on, at least for
yeah,
a little while.
yeah,
So I mean, I feel like right now, like I agree with you, I get the same nostalgia watching this in these parts before it gets really hard. I think in season 4 and 5 for me, where it
yeah.
is more high schooly. But I mean, this is almost like watching ET or the Goonies for me. Like we're in that time period, I feel like, where you get to enjoy kind of that childish wonder of what's this thing.
So, where can I find you, Jen?
You guys can find me at Bard's Tavern on Instagram, or you can also find me everywhere that Otakuology can be found.
You can find me at the Otaku Mike on YouTube as well as Instagram, and you can find me here as well at Otakuology, where we are every single week. Uh, Make sure
If
to like, subscribe if you're on our YouTube channel. Review, rate, and review us. We deserve it. I feel like interact with us. One might say.
do it.
But yeah, thanks for listening. Peace out. Stay safe.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.